Hi friend, welcome to my backyard. I'm Heather and I love painting photorealistic images, but I also love more helping you find your creative voice. Today is the last day of 2024, and like many of us, we think about the new year at this time and what our focus is, what our New Year's resolutions are. No, I'm not going to share about how to do New Year's resolutions, but I have 3 really cool ways that will help you know your focus in your creativity for the coming year. You can download a free PDF with all that information at paintingwithheather.com/dreams. I'm going to get on and share with you how I came up with these 3 ideas and how it can fully transform the year to come for you. So a few days ago, just after Christmas, I don't know about you, but I always have a flat time after Christmas. I can't do anything about it. I've got all my beautiful family around me. It's absolute heaven. I love it. But then I just seem to fall flat. And especially for me, particularly after a really, really big year, I've just had a surgery. I've just had a huge exhibition opening. And the last few years have been really busy as well and challenging, I could say. Going through COVID and then having bad storm, my business was shut for quite some time, and then I had a car crash into the gallery. There's been a lot of things go on. So I really like to journal. I really like to write things down. I don't do it every day, but I do it regularly. And so whenever I feel flat, that is the moment where I go, I've got to go and journal. And it's always a game changer. When I start journaling, I'm like, this is not going to help. And then at the end, I'm like, okay, it helped. This is not about journaling, although I do encourage you to. Today is about giving you the 3 focuses that I have come up with. As I was journaling, I realized this is really helpful for me to know what my creative focus is for the coming year. So one of the things I have been doing, probably for the last 5 years or so, is having a word for the year. What do I mean by that? It's a word that is my focus for the year. So one of the words last year was rest. And like I said, it was a really challenging few years, and I had pretty much burnt out at the start of last year. Not majorly, but enough that it had warning signs. And I decided that I would stop doing big workshops, that I would cut my hours, I would start later. I actually found another day in my week so I could take it a bit slower. And I also did something else which may not seem like rest, but to me is work towards an exhibition. I planned out my whole year so that I was very deliberately painting, very carefully knew the time it would take to paint these particular 5 paintings that I did. And it was a collaborative exhibition with a friend, and it was really, really rewarding. We had some challenging moments towards the end. I'll do another video all about the actual exhibition next week. But it was a beautiful process. I really enjoyed that, and it was a restful thing. Why am I mentioning that? Was because that was my focus last year, and it totally gave me a real wonderful direction for the year. And I kept thinking, is this restful? Am I being restful the whole year? And it really helped me. So for those of you that are asking me often, how do I find my focus? How do I find my theme? How do I know what I'm painting? If you're a painter, you know what you're doing, Heather. I'm like, well, I do the work towards it. I think about it, I write, and I come up with some themes. So I'm going to share with you what those 3 things are that has really helped me this year. Well, just in the last few days, really. I was writing, and then I started realizing that I wanted my year to have a focus, not just a word, but a focus, more of a sentence, I suppose. And I realized that my focus was what brings me joy. Focus on what brings me joy. Again, there's a download that you can go to that you can actually write down your focuses and work out what it is. So the link's here. But then I realized, okay, I have a word, a focus, and then the 3rd thing was words of wisdom. You might have someone who's given you a really beautiful words of wisdom that you remember for years to come, that you want to write down. I was reading, and this whole chunk of words just went, oh my goodness, that's me, that's the year. I'll find what it is for you and read it out. Where is it? Here it is. It might sound a bit weird, but to me it's really quite powerful. I am like a tree planted by streams of water. Whatever I do will prosper. And it was part of a bigger lot of words and it made more sense to me. But this really stood out to me. And it sounds weird, Heather. You're saying that you're going to prosper, like, some people call it manifesting. Some people will call it, being prophetic or being visualizing and affirming. I think that's the word I'm grappling for. Affirmations. So writing down things that actually give you an anchor to move forward towards that. I want to prosper this year in many ways, with my health, with my finance, with my resting, with my art, with all those things. So that really spoke to me. The other thing that it spoke to me was, I'm like a tree planted by streams of water. I want this year not to be on a boat racing. Yes, last year was rest, but this year is about being still, like a tree, getting nourishment from all the things that bring me life, that bring me joy, but also want to be a shade for others. That's not too much effort, but still encouraging and helpful, like doing videos. So there's a lot of other things that particular lot of words really spoke to me. Of course, water is always very important to me. My art often has water or reflections in it. So I will be journaling a lot more about that particular lot of words that were really helpful for me, those words of wisdom. It's actually a psalm, if anyone's interested. So yesterday, I thought I'm going to make this a little bit more concrete, and I ended up finding a visual journal, did a little bit of doodling instead of watching movies, and then I actually wrote down the focus on what brings me joy. The word for the year, my word for the year is healing, which I haven't told you yet, is healing. Healing from surgery, and also just healing from learning how to rest, healing. I want to walk more, I want to move more as well. And then the last one is words of wisdom. So these are three things: focus, the word for the year, and words of wisdom. So I really encourage you to focus on those three things. If you're really unsure what you're meant to be doing with your creativity this year, it's a really good start. It hasn't told me I must go and paint a tree with water drops on it. It's just given me a focus. It's given me a direction. This whole process did help me realize that I want to do a painting a month. I want to do a small painting a month. So if you're interested in joining me in that process, I will have another video about that. Stay tuned, or write a comment below if you want to join me in that process. One painting, just a small little painting, not as small as my mini paintings that I did last year, which was one a day. But this year I'm taking it a little slower and not having, big exhibition stuff. But my focus is what brings me joy. One of the things I'm thinking about, don't know if I'm going to do it, but I might buy a little motorhome, I might sell my car and actually buy a van that I can go camping in. That would be fun. I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to do that yet. And my word is healing. So these things really give me that focus. And thinking about being by streams of water, I think a van by streams of water would be really cool. But anyway, I'm going to head off now and get into my day. I've got quite a few days break before I start the year. I hope you have had time to have a break at this point. If you're watching this video 2024, about to go to 2025, Happy New Year. If you're watching this later on in the year, all the best for whatever's to come for you creatively. Please leave a comment on what you find helpful in your creative journey, how you can find a focus. I always love to hear. So I hope that's been helpful. Find your focus, find your word, find your words of wisdom, and it will super help you know where you're going with your creativity this year. Well, Happy New Year for those that are watching this at the time of upload. And for those of you that are watching it later on, thank you for your encouragement, for your comments, for your likes. It all helps. I really encourage you to go to the PDF download. It will be a really helpful guide for you for whatever's ahead, wherever you are in the year, to give you a focus. So until I see you again, find your focus for what's ahead and keep being creative.